Okay, so as you can see, I changed my name on Instagram. So I knew I needed to change my name because when I did the live in front of the Boost Mobile when the young man got stabbed by the fake rapper Falsulo, don't forget, y'all should be making him uncomfortable in the hood, all right? Yeah, anyway. So when I was out there, people were asking for my Instagram, and when I gave it to them, I realized that you had to type out my entire name down to the C in public. Breuckleen goes public. You had to type out the whole thing. And I realized, I knew I was shadow banned, but I didn't know the extent to which I was shadow banned. So that kind of put in perspective the length to which I'm shadow banned. So I decided then that I needed to change my name. I used to work at a school, right? I used to be the office manager at a middle school. And there, I worked very closely with the staff, and there was a dean there. He was so good with the children, right? And matter of fact, all the deans were really good with the children. But one day it was Halloween, and he asked me, well, I just like went to the dollar store across the street and like bought like a crown and a scepter, just to play along. And I was like, oh, I'm queen of the main office, right? And he was like, no, no, no. You're the fairy godmother of the school. He was like, you just, he was like, that would be who you are. And I was so touched by that. Like, you don't know how that made me feel. And so I have like ran with that. Like, I have run with that. I've been fairy godmother ever since. And so as I was looking for names to change to, I was like, okay, what? Of course, everything has African origins, right? So what are the African origin of fairy? And I found that they're called Azizas, right? And this is just what it says on Wikipedia, okay? The Aziza, African, are a type of beneficent supernatural race in West African, specifically Dahomey mythology. Living in the forest, they provide good magic for hunters. They are also known to have given practical and spiritual knowledge to people, including knowledge and the use of fire. The Azizas are described as little hairy people to have lived in the anthills and silk cotton trees.
The Aziza, who come from West Africa's Dahomey tribes, they were the fairy creatures of Africa, benevolent beings who protected the natural environments they inhabited. They were often said to have a glowing, childlike beauty with wings similar to butterflies.
So, that's where, so I realized after watching that, I'm like, wow, I'm an Aziza. So, okay, now Breuckleen. Breuckleen comes from a name, so I lived in California for a couple of years, and when I lived out there, everybody called me Brooklyn. And I always like to find the origin of things, and I found out that Brooklyn was actually named after a Dutch city spelled Breuckelen. At the time, I was very, very thin. So I changed it to Leen, and as in lean, in stature. So that's where the Breuckleen comes from. That was a name I created for myself as a teenager, actually. And so now I've combined the two names. My new Instagram name is Breuck.az, because Aziza is still hard to spell and I'm still shadow banned. So I shortened it, and like, it's so crazy because I actually have a picture with AZ. I don't have a picture with a lot of celebrities, but I actually have a picture with AZ. Crazy. crazy, right? Okay. And then after all of that wasn't confirmation enough, right? I ran the numbers on it, right? Because I told you guys I went to the class with Lloyd Strayhorn and everything, so I ran the numbers. Aziza came out to a 9, and AZ came out to a 9. And then if that wasn't confirmation enough, yesterday, or was it this morning, a young lady whose name is Aziza, shout out to you, Aziza girl, commented in my comments, and she was like, oh my gosh, because I put Aziza up in the melanin tingler for the last video. She was like, oh my God, you have my name in your video. And I feel like the ancestors sent her as confirmation as, yes, this is the name I am to choose. So here we are. Well, I just wanted to tell you guys, you know, the reason for the name change. I thought you might enjoy this story. And thank you guys for rocking with me. I've been conversing with a lot of you guys. I had to catch myself from saying conversate. I'm always thinking twice before I say that word. But yeah, so I've been conversing with a lot of you in DM, and I really enjoy it. So I just wanted to share with you guys. Have a great day. Bye.